Alrighty then, this is Ralph with Hermetic Temple Arts, and I got into the middle of a restoration project, and I thought I'd go ahead and share a little bit about what I'm doing here. This is a statue of Santissima Muerte. Literally, that translates into Holy Death. We also call her Lady Death. But she's a statue representing the archetype of change, also the archetype of death and rebirth, natural process of life, nothing to be afraid of. Although her appearance can kind of scare people, especially the uninitiated. But I mean, we've had this statue for about 10 years, and she comes with her own little sickle, scythe, whatever. I call it a sickle. But she's a nice little statue. And one of our friends, a person that was a client of ours for quite a long time, about 10 years ago, she sent us this statue. And she came kind of damaged. She'd been broken in the mail, had a little bit of a damage here. I don't know how well you can see that, but where the plastic has been cracked. And then to top things off, somehow she got dropped about 3 years ago, hit the ground, and broke into 3 pieces. And what I did 3 years ago is I went ahead and patched her in. This is a porcelain statue, and I patched her in with super glue to hold the broken pieces together, and then also filled in with plaster. And over the years, the plaster super glue combination has held pretty well. But over the years, what I've noticed with our high humidity, the plaster has started to decompose, break down. And so what I've done is I've scraped away the plaster that's been flaking off, and I went ahead and sealed it with some liquid gesso. And I've gotten a pretty good coat of gesso on the plastered area now, and I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. And then what I have planned after that, I've got an acrylic paint set that I went ahead and picked up, and we're going to go ahead and give her a new paint job down there, kind of fill in the areas that we've had to fill in with plaster and gesso, and recolor it, and then probably add in some stones. Got some semi-precious gemstones here, tumbled stones that we've picked up, and put that into the broken areas where it'll kind of help to dress her up a little bit. And I'll go ahead and affix that with some art resin, so that'll give some strength and stability back to the base, and hopefully make it all come together pretty nice. And then I'll also add in a little hematite magnet and place that in there someplace. And as you can see from the dollar bills that are on this statue, originally she was the Santissima Muerte of wealth. And so I thought to kind of honor that original energy that she came to us with, adding a little magnet into the base would be nice, symbolic of attracting good things and abundance into one's life. Now, when it comes to statues like this can actually scare the heck out of some people. Now, we're getting into the Halloween season, so people are a little more used to seeing skeletons and statues like this hanging around, just for fun. But the way I see, Santissima Muerte is that she represents the archetype of change, the archetype of death and rebirth. And to me, she serves as a reminder that we are to focus on taking the energy of change and working with it creatively. Nothing lasts forever in this life. This life is just a constant cycle of acquiring things, letting go of things, being born, living, dying, going through processes of rebirth, reinventing ourselves from time to time. Nothing lasts forever. All things must pass. And a statue like this one, to me, it's a daily reminder, a positive reminder to remember to let go of things at the appropriate time. Try not to hang on to things that are no longer work for us, that no longer serve us. Be willing to let go of things so that we can welcome new things into our life and to work creatively with the change that comes, on a regular basis into our life. And so that's why, I kind of like having this Santissima Muerte around. And we've had her for probably about 10 years. And I'm hoping after this little restoration work that we can have her around for a few more years. But yeah, I've already gone ahead and painted in the areas that needed to be sealed, and we're waiting for this gesso to dry, and then I'll probably do a few more coats to try to fill in these areas here that you can probably see, little areas that are still, we've got gaps in here, we got a lot of cracks. I mean, at one point in time, she was in a few different pieces. We got a big crack here that needs to be filled in. Got a minor crack here that needs to be filled in. So for the next week, I'll probably be focusing on just filling in the cracked areas, sealing in the areas that I've plastered, letting that get nice and dry, and then we'll go ahead with the next step, add the acrylic paint, and then we'll take the next step. We'll put in the semi-precious stones, the tumbled rocks, the magnets, and then seal that in with a liquid art resin. And then let that dry, and then she'll be good to go. But yeah, just wanted to show off what we've been doing here. And when it comes to spirit guides, your God forms, whatever you want to call them, sometimes, sometimes we pick out our spirit guides and our God forms, and other times they pick us out. Whatever your case may be, whether you're picking your spirit guide out, your God form out, your God or goddess, or it's picking you, one thing to be sure to remember is to spend time connecting consciously with that spirit guide, whatever it may be. It can be Jesus, it can be Muhammad, it can be Buddha, it can be Santissima Muerte, it can be one of the pagan deities. But just remember, we have to build a strong conscious connection with that deity of our understanding, or that spirit guide of our understanding. And when we do build that conscious contact through theurgic prayer, through meditation, we increase the power that we have working with that deity. A trap that a lot of people fall into is that they go to their gods, they go to their God forms, their archetypes, whatever, when there's times of trouble. I'm going to put this back a little bit and get behind the camera instead of to the side of it. But they connect pretty well with the God forms when there's times of trouble. They say, hey, save me, come to my aid, yada, yada, yada. And then when the crisis passes, it's like, okay, I don't need you anymore. They forget all about their spirit guides or their God forms. And what a good Hermetic practitioner needs to remember to do is to go ahead and build that connection. Maintain a strong connection with your spirit guides, God forms, however you understand that. And maintain a strong connection at all times. Not just when times are tough and you need help, but even when the times are good and you don't think you need help. Keep a line of communication open with your spirit guides. Listen to them, meditate, uh, use theurgic prayer to communicate with them. Maintain a strong conscious connection with the deity of your understanding. And if you do that, in good times and bad times alike, when it comes time to work, your ritual, when it comes time to ask for something, to ask for assistance, to, ask for aid, you will find that your rituals, that your requests, that your prayers are much more powerful if you maintain a strong conscious connection with the God or goddess of your understanding. If you just try to connect with them when times are bad to get what you want, it's not going to be as good. It may work out somewhat, but it's not going to be as powerful as it otherwise could be. If you maintain a strong connection with the God or goddess of your understanding at all times, through daily prayer, daily ritual, daily meditation, then things are going to be going a lot better for you. When it comes to magical systems, spiritual systems, a lot of times people will focus on the system and they'll think that the power is in the system. To me, that's not it at all. You can use whatever system you want to, whatever system works for you. You know, prayer, Enochian magic, Wicca, Hermeticism, any number of Hermetic traditions out there. You can use any system that works for you. But what gives that system the power is the time that you spend in meditation and the time that you spend connecting with the God or goddess or spirit guide of your understanding. And the stronger that connection is, the more powerful your system is going to be, the more powerful your rituals will be. People tend to focus on the system of magic. To me, that's putting the cart in front of the horse. Instead, just focus on connecting with the guides of your understanding and maintain a strong connection. And then when it comes time to do prayers, ritual, uh, working whatever workings that you want to work, things will come together a lot more strong, a lot more powerfully than things would do otherwise. So, if you're just picking out your spirit guides for the first time or just getting into a magical practice or a hermetic practice, don't spend a lot of time worrying about what system should I use. Instead, connect with the God or goddess of your understanding through daily prayer and meditation. Focus on that for about 6 months, maybe a year. And then after you put the time into connecting and building a strong conscious connection with the deity of your understanding, then things will begin to fall into place. And you'll have your spirit guides at that time helping you, guiding you, directing you into a system that makes sense for you. So, yeah, don't put the cart before the horse. Just focus on the God or goddess of your understanding. Primarily, do that first, whatever it may be. And once you get a strong conscious connection going with that God form, then everything else will naturally fall into place. But I mean, I don't know of any shortcuts. People here, spend 6 months to a year in meditation and they think, isn't there a faster way? I'm sorry, but I can't think of a faster way. There are faster ways. In my experience, they don't work. The best way is the slow way. Build a relationship with the spirit of your understanding first and let things fall into place. It's kind of like if somebody came to you on the street, you didn't know them, they didn't know you, and they just said something to you like, hey, I'm in really bad, serious financial distress. Can you give me $1 million cash? What would be your reaction? I don't know you. Who are you? I don't have $1 million, and I can give you some pocket change, but heck, I don't even know who you are. Imagine a similarity between that and the spirit guides that people have. You know, if you only go to your spirit guides during times of distress, you haven't really taken the time to build a relationship with them. And that may be their reaction. Hey, who are you? I don't know you. We don't have a relationship going. But if you take the time to cultivate a connection, cultivate a friendship, I think of these guides, these entities, as being friends and members of the family. Actually, we cultivate a pretty close relationship with our spirit guides and god forms and various gods and goddesses. I mean, I view them all as being one, as being connected to the source of all, and connected to me. So, I mean, there is a very deep family relationship that we have with these entities. So, to me, they're not just things that I go to when I need help. These are like friends and family members that we have developed a relationship with, and that we work with on a daily basis. And if you do that, if you cultivate that relationship and keep it strong on a day-to-day basis, then I think what you'll find is that when times of trouble do come, and you need assistance, you need inspiration, you need guidance, maybe you need some supernatural intervention, these beings will be a lot easier to work with and a lot more helpful than what they would be if you just go to them like a stranger on the street and say something like, I need $1,000,000, help me. Develop that relationship with your spirit guides first. Keep that relationship strong and maintain it on a daily basis. Kind of like we can see the symbolism here of what I'm doing. This statue was broken, and now we're taking the time to mend it, to repair it, to make it stronger. Think of your spiritual relationship with the deities of your understanding in a similar way. Take the time that we need on a daily basis to repair any broken spots, to strengthen and mend that relationship, and to keep things going. So that's about all I've got for right now. See, my wife was in the background. Now we got my black cat in the background. Everybody's getting in on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. And when we get to stage 2 of our restoration process, I'll go ahead and make another video and turn that back on. And Mama Meow here will say goodbye. And we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.